This is Rick with your 1721. Woo! Take a look what we got here. We got all kinds of things here today. You're like, what kind of video we got going on? Well, yeah, here we are. The FX hybrids in 25 cal. Woo! 26 grains. So in our last video we did it and we were like, okay, we shot clay. We checked what we were looking for is expansion at different ranges. And we found some interesting things from that video. We got a lot of questions from you from that video. And we decided to go this route. So we decided to go with some FBI ballistics gel 10%. And you're like, well, why would you do? Well, here's what we want to do. How far, when we're shooting game, will the 25 hybrids show us the penetration? What is the penetration? So we're going to be, today, in this video, we're going to get loaded up and head to the range, and we're going to take the ballistic gel, we're going to set it up, and what we're going to do is we're going to shoot it at 10 yards, 25, 50, and then of course we'll go to 100, 200, and 300. And we'll see what the penetration is, because what we wanted to do last time is capture the rounds and see what the penetration was. How far would it penetrate, telling us, you know, how when it comes to taking game, would it kill at 300? Would it kill at 200? What will it do? Now we're talking prairie dogs is a 25. We're talking at those ranges, talking about prairie dogs, groundhogs, ground squirrels, stuff like that, pigeons, whatever, game like that. Now let's talk about a little bit of the things that we have with us today. So of course we're going to have right here, we're going to have FX Impact Mark II in 25 cal with the power plenum, and it is Saber Tactical out. Woo! Thank you, Saber Tactical, for sending stuff to us. We got the adjustable cheek piece, we got the adjustable butt pad, and then we also got the Arca rail there for it also. And I was like, man, when I put all this on here, it just enhanced the gun. It just is very nice. And then we want to also thank Element Optics. They were able to send us the Nexus on here, and we actually have the Helix. The Nexus is up here. The Helix, as far as price cost, it's the lower end of the scopes, but I'll tell you, both scopes are outstanding. The Nexus is unbelievable. Just got to use it for 1 week right now, and check it out. It is awesome. We also have, you're like, well, what do you got back here? Well, we have an FX Dreamline Synthetic 25 with a 600 millimeter barrel. We have the 700 millimeter barrel on the Impact. We got the 600 on here. Here's what we're going to show. We're going to show what this gun is shooting speed-wise. He's shooting 950. This is shooting about 1020. And we're going to show that with the power plenum on the Dreamline Synthetic, we're going to show that you're able to make these shots and do the capability. So we're going to shoot at 100 and 200 yards with the Dreamline, and we'll leave the 300 to the Impact, you know, because that's what, I'm not sure what the Dreamline is. I just know we only got so much time today to do the filming and see what the penetration is and stuff, but it's not that much difference in feet per second. But that's kind of what we'll be working on today. There's so many people to thank to make this video happen. I can't thank John from FX USA enough, and Shane from Element Optics. Thank you so much for getting stuff to us. We really appreciate it. Saber Tactical, thank you so much. And also, we want to thank John also, and for the hybrid slugs. Just everything getting here. And the target that I wanted to mention is Chad from Lethal Air has been sending us HD targets, and I've been using these now for probably 6 months, and it's time to give Chad a shout out that how awesome these targets are. We really appreciate you at Lethal Air, Chad. Thank you so much. Well, Ryan, I think it's time to load up and get some shooting, right?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Whoo, boy, we have so much data to go over, so many things we saw. There was a couple things we even added that we didn't know that we were gonna do, and we actually looked at, you know, I was talking to Ryan when we got there, and I was like, he's like, hey, let's put the chronograph up at, you know, 100, 200, and 300 yards and see what the feet per second is, because I think that's something that you everyone had asked, and you know, we wanted to see. As you can see, the gel block sitting here, you can see the penetration. If you take a look, the data that's in here is very interesting. Look at the penetration of, you can see the different rounds there. They're pretty much even. And if you kind of think about that, think about the BC that's going on here. So first thing we did is we sat down, we were like, okay, let's set up at 100 and crank around and see how, you know, what the penetration is. So we were like, we shoot the first round and we're like, wow, 6.5 inches. We're like, oh, okay. Into this ballistics gel. And then Ryan says to me, he says, hey, let's go back to, let's bring it back to 10 yards and see what happens, see what the penetration is. And it just it totally fragmented the round. And we saw at 10 yards, we just boom. We were like, well, that's interesting. So then we decided, you know what, let's move it back out to 200 yards, and we're going to set it up at 200. But at the 100 yard mark, we did take the Dreamline and shoot a couple testing rounds just to see where it was hitting on target. And then what we did is we put Mr. Prairie Dog there, gave him a round, just showing that, you know, Power Plenum 25 shooting 950 with the hybrids is putting them on the money. We'll see if we can take a shot there at the Prairie Dog. We'll see if we can get this zeroed in. I think we're somewhere in the ballpark, but yep. Well, there you go. That was 100 yards, no problem. Put that right on him. Money. So, you know, doing both guns in the same video was a lot of fun, but you're looking at different things there. Of course, 950, 1020, 1016, whatever. We were sort of in between there. We weren't going to put both of them in the ballistics gel because it's kind of not that much different. And the Dreamline was holding his own, so we were like, oh, that's pretty cool. So then I was like, all right, let's do 200. So we took it back to 200. And what I thought I would see is about 2 inches difference, maybe more, you know. It's not what we saw. We saw the penetration at 200, and it just ripped through there. Got 6 inches of penetration at 200 yards in FBI ballistics gel. This video is about what the penetration is and what the kill is. And we're talking, like I said, you know, about groundhogs, ground squirrels, things like that, you know, pigeon, squirrel, it doesn't matter. Pretty amazing results there at 200 yards. It really kind of blew my mind, but then I knew, you know, moving out to 300 was going to be a task, so we had some video and we had to do with that. But I thought, you know what, Ryan, let's shoot at Mr. Prairie Dog with the Dreamline, Power Plenum, hybrids, 600 millimeter barrel. I know I got the accuracy at 200 yards with the 7. I know that all day long, but I didn't know about the 600. And it proved one shot, spine shot, at 200 yards. It was like that quick. Well, here we are with the Dreamline now, and now we're going to do 200 yard shooting at the Prairie Dog down there and see if we can put some rounds on target. I'm going to shoot at the dirt mound to the right of the Prairie Dog, and because we're not zeroed, and it's just out here just doing a real quick zero, see if we can put one on that Prairie Dog. All right. Woo! Not a perfect hit, Ryan, but pretty good. There you go. He's definitely broken spine. Caught him on the backside, a little above the heart, but that's a dead Prairie Dog there. 950 feet per second, one shot. That's pretty cool. The Helix is a great scope for, you know, for 200 yards and stuff. This price point of this scope, Ryan, is like $400, and that was. Let's take a look at that hit. Oh yeah, spine shot. But there you go, one shot at 200. I don't know. I love the Dreamline series. I do. I like that you can change the calibers and stuff, and you know, it's just, I don't know, optics like this too make it a lot easier. Oh yeah. Well, are you ready for 300?
Let's do it.
All right, well, we're going to set the impact up for 300. Let's see what happens. Woo! Quick. So the power plenum, and the helix that I had on the power plenum, honestly, I really like the helix. I like the Titan. The Nexus is just the next level. Nexus just takes you up here. That's on the impact here. And then I thought, you know, Ryan and I were talking, and I was like, all right, let's go out to 300. And if any of you shoot air guns at longer ranges, 300 yards is getting out there. And there's a lot of things that go into, you know, in the factors of what the wind's doing and what's happening there. And of course, you know, I wanted to shoot through the chronograph. We wanted to shoot the ballistics gel. So we only took the impact to 300 yards. And I sat down and I was running some test rounds and stuff, and we got right on there. Actually had somewhere maybe about a 3-inch group, and I thought that was outstanding at 300 yards. I think we were doing really, really well. I could have done better, but we were trying to get this in so we can get this video done. It took us a long time this morning to get things going, but so put the gel there. I was able to hit, and I'll set this down here a second and turn this around for you so you can see what's going on there. Of course, you know the hybrids there. So set that like that for you. And I was thinking to myself, wow, 300 yards, how many shots is it going to take? Am I dialed in? But it was easy to put one of the rounds right on the money, and you can see where it hit there. And here's the data that's just like, boom, okay. We're like, it actually penetrated 6 inches. And we're kind of like, wait a second, it penetrated 6 inches at 200. A little more at 100. So we're thinking 300 yards is easily going to, you know, take out a groundhog or anything at that range. And I want everybody to give that some thought. You think about that. Wow. So we were like, I wonder how much energy we got there. So I said to Ryan, let's set up the chronograph. And if you guys know about how the wind likes to play here in PA, I was like, this is going to be some dangerous ground to put Mr. Chronograph down there. So I put him down there, and we shot a couple of shots through. We couldn't get it to read correctly. We didn't really get a great read on it. It actually said error, I think, on one of the shots. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I guess you're going to ask yourselves, you know, at 300 yards, yes, there was a chronograph that was harmed in the making of this video. Not severely harmed, but harmed, we'll say. That's all I'm going to tell you. But one thing that we did see also, I walked back to Ryan and I said, hey, I got a piece of 3/4 inch plywood in the truck. I'm just curious. Let's see what the round does, and at 300 yards. That's, you know, fresh piece, no hits on it, no nothing, really clean. Let's take a look. Well, here laying on the ground as I walk down to 300 is the round, and it's mushroomed pretty good. So here, as you can see, is the bore. You can see there's the hole. Check this out. This is 300 yards as that guy rolls away. This is 300 yards, and look, pass through. 3/4 inch plywood at 300 yards. I think that is some serious data right there of what these rounds can do and at what range. 300 is, they're capable of a lot more than that. So all this data, you're sitting there, you're doing this, and you're finding this all real time, and you're like, because we didn't do this before, we didn't do ballistics gel, but we did want something that would capture rounds so we could look at them later. Of course, they're still on the block. I'm not going to cut them apart while we're on film here trying to dig everything out. So, but I just wanted to show you, you got to see the penetration. So at 300 yards, guys, hybrids are getting the job done. The penetration that we're getting, and we're getting how far they went into this gel at those different ranges and almost being identical. We only had 300 today. I think the next step for us is 400 and 500 and see what happens. You saw Justin Jacobson shoot 650. He hit his target at 650. I'd love to know what's the penetration, what's it doing at those ranges, go from 400, 500, and 600. So that's our next video once we find the place that we can shoot those ranges. This is Rick with Shooter 1721. Thanks for watching.